more than 50 street gangs with about 2,000 members active right now in Massachusetts. That number does not include smaller neighborhood gangs, some who actually recruit online. So many local cities and towns are struggling with gangs, but tonight I take a close look at one city who seems to be winning the battle. Randy Marinas fights.
I want to win the Olympics, and I want to be a world champion.
Dung Fan fights.
We just fight people, we don't.
You understand that sounds kind of ridiculous, that you just jump somebody because you don't like them.
Yeah, but because they do it to us too.
Dung fights because he's in a gang. Randy fights to stay away from gangs.
I figured out if I joined the boxing program, I thought I had a chance at it.
On the streets of Worcester, their stories symbolize two very different paths, and yet both lead directly.
Crime is down in the city of Worcester.
To the city's gang unit.
The biggest obstacle we have is with the gang crimes is getting them as a victim to come forward and tell us who shot them, who stabbed them.
On this night, I'm along for the ride with Lieutenant Stephen Roach and Officer Nate Riando.
Lieutenant, we're out on the street. We're trying to make one arrest right here.
The arrests come fast.
You're under arrest for distribution of crack cocaine.
This guy accused of carrying crack and a steak knife.
Did you get a steak knife?
No, it wasn't mine.
He's not a gang member. Still, the gang unit is happy. Remove the drugs, ultimately remove the thugs. When people ask you, what does a gang member look like?
Right.
It's a tough question.
Right. What does a gang member look like? Nobody knows. They look like me and you. They're regular people. They're young kids. They're young. They're old. They're white. They're black. They're Hispanic. They're Asian. They're amongst us in society.
And they're all around us on our next call.
Grab that one, dog. Grab that one, dog.
One drug warrant nets several bags of marijuana, and 3 men who claim they used to run with a gang. The tattoos tell a tale.
What does that say? Original Tiger.
Street loyalty signed in ink. People see the movies and they think that gang units are, chasing after these fights with gunshots and all this other stuff, but it's a lot of this. It's a lot of grabbing the kids, looking at the tattoos, talking to them, finding out what's going on the street.
That's what it's all about. The chasing the people, shooting the guns, is, in my 18 years, it hasn't happened yet.
What is happening is a drop in violent crime and gang activity in Worcester. Even Dung Fan, who decided to talk with us after seeing his brother on the left there, in cuffs and high on heroin, says the gangs are almost non-existent now. Do you think things are getting better on the streets?
For us it is.
Part of the success can be traced to this grungy warehouse across town. It tells a story that crime stats don't. Randy Marinas is here every day.
I gotta train to be the best. If I don't train, I can't be the best.
Randy's 14, and he says if he wasn't in boxing, he knows exactly where he would be.
Juvenile detention.
Instead, Randy met Officer Nate Riando and the rest of the guys in the gang unit.
There's one thing to go out and chase some kids around, and that's part of our job too. But our part of our job is, meeting these kids on the street, getting them off the street, giving them alternatives to a life of crime.
From swimming to basketball to boxing, kids like Randy.
Boxing brought me into a better place with positive people, not with negative people.
Train with people like Enrique. He knows all about the streets. Enrique did time for an attempted robbery.
I got locked up, and they got a chance. They got their whole life ahead of them, and I don't want them to make the same mistakes I did.
It seems almost sappy. Kids off the street wanting to be champions instead of criminals. But that's what it is. And oh, by the way, Randy is very good. 18 wins, 1 loss. With a big fight just days away.
You're going to see me TKO.
Yes, a technical knockout. Exactly what the gang unit would like to have in its continuous battle on the streets. A unit that knows the attitude of not my neighborhood, not my problem, doesn't work. Especially with gangs coming right into suburban homes now by recruiting online. So they hit the streets aggressively, make the arrest they have to, while still giving some options.
We want to see kids step up, do the right thing. And we're hoping this does that.
Yeah, I consider them my friends. It's like a family.
A few days later, in a city park.
We'll always remember the night they came and fought at East Park under the lights.
It's the gang unit's big night. It's Randy's big night.
I give him 3 rounds. I'm going to play with him a little bit.
Randy dances around the ring. It's just him, his opponent, and a referee who's also a member of the gang unit. And after 3 rounds, Randy gets his 19th win. His Olympic dream still very much alive. Unlike a shooting, this doesn't grab major headlines. But it should, because the gang unit just watched a fight, and it wasn't on the streets.
In a few years, we'll remember Randy, and he'll remember us, and he's not someone that in 5 years we'll be chasing around. He's someone in 5 years be telling us all the great things he's done.
You're really a good kid. The gang unit raises thousands of dollars with events like that one, but it's not just about boxing. In fact, in the middle of a big bust while I was there, I actually watched the gang unit offering to pay for a kid's membership to the Boys and Girls Club. The stats say it's working. Maria?
Great job.